All right, guys, in this episode of Let's Assess, we are going to talk about what we want to see on the new Snowcheck sleds. They're right around the corner. We're also going to dive into some exciting news and some big announcements, so stay tuned for the whole episode. Let's get right into it.
Look, I don't want to talk. How you try and press the kid and read it, you was soft.
All right, guys, welcome back to yet another episode of the Let's Assess podcast. Like we stated in the intro, we are talking about Snowcheck. We have a million things to talk about today. So before I jump into anything, guys, if you're getting any value or entertainment out of this, please like, subscribe, share it with a friend. It helps us do more videos. It really helps us out. It keeps us motivated, keeps all the fellas wanting to do pods and videos. So we really appreciate that. If you would right now, go do it if you haven't. Also, I want to say, the fellas, AJ and Marcus, are still booking trips this year. They're finding the snow. I don't care what anyone says. I've seen clips. They're finding snow. So go out there and book a trip if you want to come out here and ride. And also, to support the channel, please, guys, there's a link in the bio for Blackbird. Pick yourself up some merch. We have a new drop coming very, very soon. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks, we need to get on that. Another announcement before I forget. I'm just going to do all the announcements or else I'm going to forget half of them. Drum roll, please. Ride Day is announced February 22nd in Craig, Colorado. Follow us on social platforms, cook.bros on Instagram, Powderbound Adventures on Instagram. We'll be releasing more details there, but we know it's going to be in Craig, Colorado, February 22nd. So if you're a great rider, come out. If you suck, come out. We're just going to have a good time and just hang out. Okay. Announcements are done.
I have one more to follow in there. For Powderbound Adventures, we're going to do an intermediate clinic March 6th and 7th. It's going to be a 2-day clinic. The booking is live on our website. You can go in there, book. It'll say intermediate clinic. 2-day clinic. There's going to be a lot of value in there for your intermediate guys. We're also going to do 30% off for snowmobile rentals if you need a rental for the clinic, just for the clinic.
That's a good deal.
But you have to give me a call to do that because I had to turn all that booking off for the clinic. So call me at Powderbound. I can get you set up on a sled for 30% off and come ride with us. There's going to be a lot of value in that clinic right there.
Sweet. Okay. Let's touch on this. We had an exciting last Monday. We can't reveal it because we're gonna talk about it. We're not gonna fully reveal this. We're revealing this Thursday on the same YouTube channel. We're going to show you guys some great entertainment. But we built a sled that is capable of many things.
I would say has never been done before.
Yeah, to an extent. And it was just a lot of fun. So tune in Thursday on this channel. We'll drop that video. It's probably the most fun I've had filming a video ever.
Honestly, maybe even some of the most fun I've had on a snowmobile in a long time.
Yeah, that was a good time.
It's no doubt we've not had good snow in Colorado. Well, a lot of people haven't had good snow like in the West this year.
Right.
So it was just kind of an idea that sparked with all of us to build something to go have fun on the mountain. And I think we accomplished that goal.
And just to get people's reactions of it. That was funny. That was good.
The second it came out of the trailer, eyeballs were locked on us.
Phones were out.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
I mean, how many times can you be out on the mountain and you just collect a crowd of people? Like normally when you're on the mountain, you're like, see people split, right?
Yeah.
But we were just like a magnet, like North Pole, pulling them in.
Yeah. So with that, the Super Bowl just happened. I was not entertained. I don't know. I used to like watching NFL football. I just don't like watching it anymore. If the donkeys aren't playing, I just don't watch it. The commercials, I mean, I'm not trying to be a hater. Some of them are okay. I didn't think that there was a big, a large amount of high performing commercials in the laugh department for me, but there again, I was asleep half the Super Bowl because we rode in the morning.
Yeah, it kind of felt more like a regular season game. It didn't have that like Super Bowl vibe to it, you know?
Yeah.
with all the commercials. I mean, the game was not good. The halftime show was debatable.
I wasn't a fan of it, but I just didn't. It's not because I'm trying to hate on Kendrick. It's just, I don't know. I'm not really in that phase of listening to that kind of music right now. I used to be, but just at the moment, yeah.
Well, and it's like, you get so bored with like the Chiefs winning every Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Like it's got to get
super
boring.
Finally, the Eagles won.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Once again, I did not watch a single second of any of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad the Eagles won. That's cool to see some of those guys finally win. But yeah, it was. Let us know what you guys think. But I was not super. It was not my favorite Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So
you kind of said a great thing there. Like, we love hearing what you guys have to say in the comments. Not great about answering. That's my department. Sorry about that, guys. I will continue to try to be better. But like, it's honestly, we always read the comments, so it's always entertaining to see what you guys have to say. Let us know what you think about everything we're talking about for sure here.
Yeah, let us know what you think of our opinion on Snowcheck again. One more thing that I want to mention. Okay, we are doing a new segment on the Let's Assess podcast, hopefully starting next week. So we wanted to announce to you guys this week in hopes of doing this next week. We are going to do something a little more, something fun. And we thought, what is more fun than watching people pile themselves up? Do not blame us if you're trying to get a submission on here and you pile yourself up. This is for when it accidentally happens. So what we're going to do is you're going to DM us your video of you wrecking or a friend wrecking or whatever you want to do, as long as everyone's okay with it on your end. We are going to look through the submissions in our DMs. Hopefully there's some funny wrecks. The worst or funniest wreck or funniest clip, I guess it doesn't have to be a full-on wreck, just the funniest clip. We are going to give you the Scumbag of the Week award. So we're going to shout you out on the pod. We're going to put the video in the pod, and we just kind of want to see, for our own enjoyment and for all of you, some of the scumbag moments we've had on the snow, because we've each had a scumbag moment. I've had two in the last week.
Yeah.
Brad had one, AJ had one. Yeah. So
yeah. And it doesn't even have to be you like completely wadding yourself up or your buddy completely wadding themselves up, but like just something that you might find funny in your group, send it in and see if it makes the cut.
Yeah, and we kind of started doing this Q&A, which I forgot to announce. We're doing Q&A in this pod. So it's just a way for us to interact with you, you guys to get kind of a personal podcast experience. Okay, with that being said, I've already talked too much. Let's jump in to Snowcheck. What do we want to see? With AJ being on the BRP side of things, he can speak on that. I'm going to, of course, give my opinions on what he says. And then me and Brad are going to talk basically more Polaris stuff. Yeah. Rumors and stuff like that. What do you want to see, AJ, on the Ski-Doo side?
I've already seen leaked pictures of a new spindle on the Ski-Doo side. So I'm hoping to see that spindle as like a lift spindle, so I don't have to continue buying spindles every year, even though we've kind of got a ton of them now anyway, so not a big deal. But for everybody, I think it'd be awesome to have that lift spindle, get that front end up out of the snow, help some corner and like downhill turns and stuff. But I do think that what they need to do and what I want to see most importantly would be something to compete with the 9R, some sort of 900 or like 920 or some sort of big bore. NA. Yep. Because like it's awesome having a turbo, but it's like this time of the year we're starting to get some harder packed snow. I would really love to be riding an NA 146 right now.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
I just kind of slacked on that this year and didn't get one, and was expecting to have a great snow year. But
yeah, makes two of us.
Yeah. So that's what I would really like to see, is some sort of big bore. And I know I've talked with Marcus, that's what he's hoping to, is, some sort of 900 something out of Ski-Doo in the NA.
Do you think you would for sure buy one next year?
I think I think so, actually. Yeah, I'll definitely get another turbo, but I think I want another spring sled. I want some sort of 146 option again for next year.
Yeah.
So whether that's a turbo 146, the one thing I hate about the turbo 146 is the 2.6 track.
Yeah.
So like
that's what it would be.
That's what
I'm
it'd
sure.
be in the in a 900 or something like that. So I would love to see a new track in the 146 department, whether that's Polaris or Ski-Doo. I'll make a conversion of some sort. A 3-inch 146 track is another thing I'd like to see.
What do you think about a 146 3.25?
I think it'd be too much, maybe. I mean, I'd give her a whirl if they make it for sure.
I think it'd be a riot.
Yeah,
I think it'd be cool.
it would probably leap out of the snow pretty hard.
Yeah.
like it'd be pretty sweet.
But with how you ride a 146 and like the snow conditions that you ride a 146 on, you might prefer something a little bit less than a 3.25.
Honestly, I'm thinking like a 275, 28, something like that. Just a little more lug to help on those powdery days. More so with our Colorado snow. Like,
Well, dude, here's the other thing too is like, with the 3.25, everyone's like, yeah, the durability sucks. Everyone that I've talked to that like rides,
yeah,
they've rode the 3.25 and then a 275. I'm talking Polaris World, obviously.
yeah.
They say the 3.25 is just as durable as a 2.75 when it comes to lugs splitting, lugs tearing off.
Mine's been really strong.
Yeah, and you've put that thing on trees and just hammered
Yeah.
it.
Well, you guys are batting 50-50
Yeah,
with them.
yeah. Well, that
That wasn't the track
Yeah.
issue, no. But
yeah.
no, honestly, the 325 has outperformed itself in my opinion. Like, I think it had a lot of hate coming in. I think that's the one thing Polaris maybe put some testing and development into, unlike the rest of the sled. So like that track has really outproved itself. I think it's like durable and lasting a lot better than like,
Yeah, I would definitely get it again.
yeah. Well, it's the way it like on your boost, the way it hooks up is incredible. So
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I would recommend it. If anyone is gonna snow check, yeah, unless you want something super playful, I would definitely go the 3.25.
yeah.
I think it's playful though.
Well, it's playful, but I mean, I've tested it on some logs and stumps and stuff, and knock on wood, it's not failed yet.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing
Knock
about
on
that
wood.
is like, I think you can get a 325, 155 like you did. And on those stupid deep days, I'll bet your sled would go, or, well, I guess your 165 is a 325 too. But like, if you're with a 165, 275, I think that 325, 155 would go the places it would just because it just hooks and goes. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Hooks
incredible.
and books.
Yeah. Like, she gets up on the snow and cruises.
Yeah.
So, pretty impressive.
Okay. Anything else before we jump into Brad and I's opinions?
You know, there's nothing really majorly out there. I mean, I'd love to see the Ski-Doo handle more like the Polaris, maybe, you know, fix that. I just think that's the nature of the beast of the Ski-Doo, and it's great to have that division, honestly, the two separate sleds for two different things. And I think they've really got a good chassis under them. I don't want to see huge changes in the snowmobile industry just for the fact of resale values and where we're at right now. I don't need the manufacturers pumping a shit pile of snowmobiles out, and then here we are stuck with stuff again. You know, I think that's like, we're going to get into it with Polaris, but I think that's what Polaris is going to do. They're going to screw the entire market up, in my opinion, and it's going to destroy everybody's resale value. I'd like to see Ski-Doo compete with the 9R. I'd love to see Arctic Cat compete with the 9R. I thought the 858 was going to be that competition for it. In my opinion, they've missed the mark there.
And yeah, that's your opinion, because a lot of people are saying that it's better, and I agree with you. I don't think it is.
I would have to say that the people that think an 858 will compare to a 9R are diehard Arctic Cat people that have never rode one.
Yeah.
As in riding a 9R. Like,
Or they rode a 9R that's not clutched right or something's wrong.
Yeah, because that thing would blow the doors off of that poor 858 in good snow conditions, especially.
Let me just add my thing into it. This, if I was a Ski-Doo buyer, this is what I like to see. I mean, in something that they could actually do, not like my dream sled of like something unrealistic. Gauge. They need a better gauge.
Yep.
They need something like Ride Command. I would like to see that.
Yep.
I would also like to see something that's not so ugly. I hate the headlights on
I know.
things, dude.
That's why you got to put the Carbon Pursuit Delete on it, man.
Yeah, that helps, but zero hood would be cool too.
Yeah.
But no, I think the Carbon Pursuit headlight makes it look better.
This is like a creature comfort, but the hood on top, they just like
The storage.
the storage.
Oh yeah.
The
It's
Polaris
terrible.
one is just so nice that you can fit a bunch of stuff. It stays warm all day. It's
Yeah.
so nice.
One thing that I would like to see across the board, especially, I'm just not a big gauge person. Like the 7S is nice, but honestly, I had that Polaris for a whole year and we never linked our ride commands up together. I'll bet you guys still haven't linked yours together.
No comment.
Yeah,
But-
okay.
Next
but it's
question,
not
please.
even that. Like, and that is cool. Which we need to do that. I mean, when we had ours linked, it was a big. I thought it was a big
Yeah.
deal. It was
Yeah.
cool, but it's more than that. Like I just like having a big gauge and being able to see everything and look at vehicle break-in easier. Like looking at everything easier. Having your phone connect to it. Like that's just me. But then I have one in my Razor, and like I'm just used to it basically, and I like
I
it.
really don't give a shit about any of that stuff, honestly.
Really?
The one thing I miss is having the time.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. Like if I could have anything
Yeah.
on my standard gauge across the board would be time.
I got time, but it's always wrong, and I
Gotcha.
think it's in
That's
military
weird.
time. So
Huh.
I haven't said it.
Gotcha. Okay. So like that's one thing I really enjoyed with the 7S was having the time clock right there all the time. The ride command was sweet because we used it with a couple of our rental sleds and stuff. But I mean, I'd agree. I'd like to see Ski-Doo up their gauge game, but if they don't, really not going to hurt my feelings. Like I never pair my phone to it. As long as I can see RPM and engine temp, that's the only two things I'm really looking at ever. So
Okay, hop into yours, Brad.
I'd like to see Polaris come, and like this is a really small kind of nitpick. I'd like them to come out with some new and good colorways on the Boost.
Yeah.
I feel like every single time, we Snowcheck one, it's just all black and got to wrap it and everything. They come out with good colorways, but they don't make most of them in the Boost, it seems like. So I think new colorways would be awesome. I'll let you talk a little more about the 9R Boost.
Yeah, so there's rumors about 9R Boost. So if you don't know what that is, it would be a 900 Boost. So they basically combine what they have out on the market right now. You have the 9R, and then you have a Boost. They would combine that into one package. That's probably what I'd buy personally if it came out, if it wasn't $28,000. But so basically what the claim is there is with a 900 Boost is you have a lot better bottom end.
low end, yeah.
So you have more low end. You're able to push. I mean, this is getting aftermarket, but you're able to push more power. The only thing I worry about is, I mean, I love Polaris. You guys, the listeners know I love Polaris. Love how their sleds handle. What I want to see is people around me that have, and myself, if I get a new sled next year, not have any problems. That's what I want to see. I want to see wires fixed. Like with me, I want a 9R Boost with a factory lightweight hood, keeping the throttle block that they had, which I'm sure they will, and creating stronger running boards and beefing the rails and all this stuff. I would love to see it. I would love to see a 146.325 and all that stuff. But I would much rather just have exactly what they have on the market right now with way more reliability. Because
if they could do what they did last year and actually do what they said they were going to do, that would be the ideal situation. Like they made an attempt at it last year, but it seems like they missed the mark.
Yeah. Well, and talking to the dealers around here, both, talking to Alpine and then, Craig and just around here and online, most people, it doesn't seem like are having problems with 25s.
Doing better.
Brad's already had a problem with his
Yeah,
25.
I'm the exception, I guess.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
wiring
it's just
gets pulled
small
out.
stuff. I mean, if the build quality,
Consistency.
it's just
Yeah.
quality control. I mean, it's putting out where they get it right on one sled and they can duplicate it many, many, many times, building them all. It sounds like a lot of these sleds, they're each build is a little bit different. One has
Zip
the
ties.
wiring is a little bit different. Yeah, one has a zip tie holding this wire together, so he doesn't have problems. Well, I didn't get the zip tie, so I'm having problems.
Yeah.
It's just all this small.
I would also like to see a factory tune, not that I would run it, but for everybody else that has some low end snap like a Ski-Doo.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Because they're able to achieve it aftermarket.
So it's doable.
Yeah, Vogue can achieve it, trust me. But Polaris isn't doing it.
Yeah,
it's weak.
He probably doesn't want to give that to him because that's his bread and butter. He does the tuning for Polaris.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I just some nitpicky things in reality, like you're talking about. I mean, we could go on and on about how they need to have a carbon fiber hood. And, you know, I've seen people, this would be a cool idea, is like do a Brant edition. So it's like built like Brants right out of the box. I don't think that's ever going to happen. And I think that's way too much to ask.
$1,200 a month.
Yeah, for 85 grand. Make it in conjunction with the new race Razor, the $140,000 Razor.
Yeah, and let's talk about price. I mean, it's getting bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
it's
that's-
jumping up like what,
But I'll
1,500,
tell you,
$2,000 a year.
I'll tell you the worst part about the price. This kind of sounds weird. I don't mind the price, even if I paid 24 grand for a sled. I do, but I'll tell you what, like, makes me upset about that is when I go to sell it with 1,000 miles. That bastard's worth 14 grand. That's what bothers me.
Yeah, it doesn't hold value at all.
Yeah, it's like if back in the days, like in 22 when they came out with it, I was like, holy cow, this is a lot of money, and it is like 27,
Still
28
is.
grand is ridiculous for a snowmobile, and I hope they don't do that. But if you could buy it for 27 and next year you can sell it for 26, I'd rather do that than pay 22 and sell it for 14.
Yeah.
Which that's what's happening right now.
Well, and if I'm going to pay that much for a snowmobile, like I'm so pleased with my Ski-Doo, I'll pay that money again next year for it because it ran. But out of all of us here, we had 6 boosts. I don't want to be just knocking on a Polaris here, but like we've had a handful of them, and you've had three that have been problems. I've had one that a problem,
I've had 0.
and you've had 0 problems. But it's like the odds of getting a bad one to a good one in our group alone is what steers me away from wanting to pay that price for that sled.
Well, and it just like, and obviously Brad I have my own sleds.
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't care about how reliable his sled. Well, obviously I do, because then I don't have somebody to go ride with sometimes. But it like really pisses me off that he's this frustrated when it's like he spent all this money. I'm over here like, dude, we got to go over here and do reentries and film this and then hit this jump and build this. And he's just like, I don't even want to be up here.
Yeah, I can't even get
Like
there.
I hate
Yeah,
riding.
like the sled will not like.
Yeah, like I'm in
tried
limp
3
mode.
times,
I
yeah.
can't get out of this hole.
Yeah.
It like that's what's frustrating to me. That's why like I got back and I'm like, lightweight Ski-Doo build. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like
Well-
that is just so frustrating. And I love Polaris, but it's like that does suck for these people.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a gamble if you're getting what you are paying for. You're paying a premium for really any of these sleds.
Yeah.
And to gamble on it, I mean, I think I told you, I'm like, I'd pay an extra $5 grand for that sled if I knew it was going to run
The whole
all year long.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
and which
Agreed.
you might get that opportunity with the terrorists from VRP coming into here. Which I'm just saying that to be controversial. Who knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Polaris would just take the extra $5 grand. They wouldn't actually make a better product. You're joking about that.
No, I said by a Ski-Doo.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
God, I was giving you a compliment there.
Yeah, I'll take it. So you commented on the 900 boost. The problem I have with the 900 boost is that's going to be the new shiny object. Everybody's going to want a 900 boost. So then 850 boosts already are worth absolutely nothing right now. Like my 2024 boost, problems fixed. It's for sale, everybody, if you're interested. Fully built out. I can't even get a message for 16.5. I can't even get a message.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And there's probably $26,000, $28,000 into that snowmobile. And I can't even get someone to be like, hey, you still got it? I'm interested. You know, like nothing on that sled.
Yeah, not even a low ball.
Yeah, not even a heckler, you know?
It's getting like disrespectful.
Yeah, like it's that bad. So like Polaris goes and drops a 900, and then all of us with 850s, everyone's gonna be like, well, I don't want an 850 boost now. I want the 900 boost.
Especially if the 900 boost runs.
Yeah,
Okay,
It's
but
really
here's-
going to tank the 850 market.
Right, but here's the thing you got to think about. There's not going to be a lot of them out there. I wouldn't think,
I
because they
hope they don't.
will do a Snowcheck exclusive on that.
Yeah, but boost 850 boost are Snowcheck exclusive, and then you get how many of them a year old?
That's true. But think about this. I will say this, just to play devil's advocate here. If that happens, what if? This is a what if. Say everyone wants a 9R boost.
Yep.
And everyone's buying it. Then there's not going to be as many people buying the 850s. And then the following year, the 9R boost might be worth more. I don't know. That's stupid. I was trying to play
I ain't
devil's
buying
advocate.
no 9R boost now.
Yeah.
What did my sled cost? Like, what is MSRP on it?
24.
24?
Are you sure it's that high?
Yeah.
I thought it was like
I was going to say
22.9.
23 or 24.
I think it's 23, 24, somewhere
It's
in there.
probably 24 with that track. But
And the gauge and all
Yeah,
this
between,
stuff.
well, and
well,
you have to
yeah,
Snowcheck.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
the gauge is standard on boost.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm pretty sure it is.
What do we all think? And I want everyone in the comments as well. We need to have a winner here. What is a 155 325 9R boost going to cost? And the closest, either one of us or a viewer that comments, they'll win something. Maybe it's just bragging rights, but they'll win something.
Yeah. No, okay, this is what I'll
MSRP.
say. I feel like Polaris, if they do the 9R boost, which who knows?
They're gonna. They were
Yeah.
almost about to last year, and then
Yeah.
all the hill climbers had them. Kyle Pulsford's testing it right now. We know there's rumors of them around in our neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Like they're out there, they're being tested. They've been tested.
But dude, you got to think from like Polaris's reliability in their name. Maybe they're like, dude, we need more testing on this. We can't push it.
Oh, they don't care about that.
Yeah,
they
I
made
mean-
that very clear.
Yeah, that went out the window years
But let me
ago.
just say this.
2022 with the fuel pumps that still have problems.
Yeah. But let me just say this. I think they're going to do one of two things. This is what I would guess. They're going to push out a very limited number of those. I think. Looking at their track record when they did the factory boost.
They did it with the boost. They did it with the 9R.
Yeah.
They did small quota first year.
But those
So
all
greedy.
COVID years weren't.
With that
They
being
were,
said,
yeah.
but with that being said, I think that could make the price higher.
Even more, of course.
So what are we thinking here?
I would guess if they do 9R boost, if they come out, let's just take exactly what they have right now. No changes except a 9R boost. What I mean by that is no body redesign, no panels, like everything is the exact same. They just do a 9R boost. My bet, if a sled, let's say, are they 24 right now? A
Yeah.
boost? I would guess they're going to be 26.9 to 27.5, somewhere in there. That's what I would guess. I don't know.
I'm gonna say $28,838.
Okay. What do you think?
155. Yeah, I'm gonna say.
US dollars.
I'm gonna say
Yeah,
like.
oh shit. Yeah. Thanks for saying
I'm
that.
gonna say for
clarify,
a
yeah.
155, it's gonna be like 27.9 or so. But you can creep into that 28 if you
So think about
throw
this.
on a 65.
We
and-
take that. We build a sled like what I have right now. If you paid full price for everything that's on my sleds right now, you're talking. What would be your guess without sitting and adding everything?
45 to 50 easy.
Yeah, that's what I'd
Easy.
say. I would
Really?
say I would
Jeez.
bet my sled if you paid full price for everything, it would be a $50,000 sled.
Jeez.
Yeah, it makes your pride hurt a little bit actually when you talk about it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But
But here's the thing, dude. I'm in the same boat right now where it's like I probably need to buy a new sled next year because for many reasons they're getting up there with how I ride them, I think, and the stuff that's on them.
Yeah.
And I want warranty back. But
Yeah, but I want warranty back on your stuff too.
but if it's 28.9 and unless all of my parts would swap, which
They're not gonna.
debate.
They will make it not work.
Yeah. So then it's like, if it was decently affordable, I would Snowcheck a 146 9R boost if they come out with that, which they probably won't. That's another thing. I think, I don't know, they're kind of late to the game. It seems like the 146 boost is kind of going away, but I could see them doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll do it in the 9R one, not
Probably
9R
the
boost.
850, yeah.
Yeah. But I can see them doing that. But my ideal sled, if it was decently priced, would be a 9R 140 or 9R boost 146 chaos slash. And then I would probably track swap it and do like a 325 155. So then you'd have the factory short tunnel, the long track, and then do suspension. I'm not even going to go through what all I need to do.
Do you think if they do the 9R boost that they might just do it in like 165 or something like that?
I would
hope
guess
not.
if they're going to do it, they do it in 155. I think that has to be.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's
If
the most
if they're going to
popular.
pick one, I think they would have to do it in 155. That's their best selling length for mountain segment. I would think, dude, every sled you see on a mountain is 90% of them are 155s.
I agree. I'm a 155 guy. I completely agree. I just, with Ski-Doo doing their in-season turbo model this year, it was only offered in 165.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I wonder if they just had a surplus of 165 rails or something.
I think they probably just didn't sell a lot of 165s.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, let's dump these.
Yeah, that can make
Maybe.
sense too. They had
But
a ton of tracks and a
more
ton of rails or
165s,
something.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if I was a manufacturer, and there again, I'm not talking about trail riding and,
It's mountain specific.
mountain specific, I would build it in a 55.
No, I agree.
You know.
I agree. Yeah. I just wanted to throw it out there.
And I would probably buy the 55, but I would rather have the 46 because I'm going to have everything that I need for the 55. So I could just drop
Just
the skid.
swap it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, it'd be kind of a cool, like, we talked about the time and everything on the sleds. What if it'd be kind of nice to have like an ambient air temperature just to see what it's like? You ever,
What do
I don't
you
know.
mean?
I think about that a lot just to,
Like,
it shows the outside air temperature.
Why can they not do that? My Razor has it. It's the same gauge. Why can they not do that? I
There's
would
probably,
love to know that.
I would bet there's probably a sensor somewhere that picks up on it. I mean,
Yeah.
most all that stuff does. It would be nice if the gauge showed it right next to the time. I mean,
I would love
small thing, but I mean, I would like that.
It'd be handy.
Yeah.
I'd pay $28,000 to know.
to know what the outside temperature
Hey guys,
to know
it's
what the
21
temp is.
degrees out today.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm cold. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fellas, we
Let's
better
jump in.
quit jabbing. Okay, Q&A. Okay, again, if you guys haven't seen this or watched this podcast before, we do Q&A. We put this out every week, or we try to. Sometimes we mess up or forget. We put this out on our Instagram story. So follow us at Cook Bros. Follow us at Powderbound Adventures. We will put them up, and you guys can fire away your questions, and we will give our honest responses. We're going to have to kind of go fast through these. Okay. Let's dive. I'll dive, and then...
We can just switch back and forth
Yeah.
for these. Okay.
Okay. I like this question. What content will we be seeing this summer?
It's a great question. It really is. We're going to try to keep content coming all summer. For sure, podcast, keeping it coming, and we're going to try to keep up with the videos. I think we'll see some more razor type stuff.
Off-road. Dirt off-road stuff.
Yeah,
I
dirt
think.
off-road. We're all motorheads. I mean, we all have diverse backgrounds in what we do. So like, and Brad's into like race cars, you're into like the razors more. I'm more into like boating and fishing and stuff. So like maybe and Marcus is into like derby cars and harvesting, and I don't know his world really well. Farming. Maybe we'll go hang out with him a little bit.
And maybe we'll go work the farm for a week with him.
Yeah, go drink some twisted teas in the shop and build a derby truck. Who knows?
Yeah, that would be cool. Dude, I would love to go see one of those derbies.
Yeah, we should go out. We should fly out to Sleepy Eye.
Yeah,
Sleepy Cat.
Sleepy Eye.
Sleepy Eye. And
Lazy Eye.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I think a huge variety, more day in the life of us.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
that's the thing. Like with the video coming out Thursday, we for so long, especially on the Cook Bros page, we have shown you like one of our passions is, or one of my passions is like cinematic video and editing and in the snowmobile world. But I do a lot more than just that, and we do a lot more than just that. We're small town dudes who like to just come up with stupid stuff to go do. And so our plan is this summer is more to document that stuff, because we do it. We just haven't been documenting it. So that's the goal for this summer. Do you want me to get through mine and then you can go? Or do you want to bounce?
Let me do this one.
Okay.
Okay. What do you think and will want to see for 2026? Ski-Doo 9R Big Bore, Polaris 9R Boost, new 850s, Cat 858 Turbo, new chassis for the Big 2. I think we just kind of answered a bunch of those things.
I don't think there's going to be new chassis.
But
that's
my
my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think any new chassis. 850s, I think are going to stay the exact same. I think we're going to see 850s as, you know, the new base model. That's going to be what any base sled is going to be, as an 850.
Which is still a great...
It's a great sled. Like, honestly, might be what I buy one of next year. So I do see them sticking around, and then we'll just get more factory type big bores, boost stuff like that, like we just talked about. Cat 858 Turbo, sure, would love to see it. Don't think it's going to happen though. Like, I have 0% faith that that's going to come from factory, just with the shambles that they're in right now, and knowing how many bridges they've burnt in the industry as already Cat alone.
It'd be cool to see some company, maybe CF Moto, come out firing. Like, that'd be sick.
I'd love to see it. I just think it takes so much development that nobody has that ready to go.
Time-wise.
So timeline-wise, I mean, by rights, they have to be ordering parts right now to hit assembly line years ago, you know? So I just don't see it happening. I don't think 858 Turbo's in the wheelhouse.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. While we're on that, what do you want to see in my 26 sleds? That's pretty funny, because that's exactly the podcast or what we talked about this podcast. So I don't need to get into it. Let's do this. We've had some questions about snow conditions out in our neck of the woods. True snow conditions for the ears / buff, please. Okay.
I also have that question in my line, so we'll just answer it together now. We were up there, what was it?
Monday.
So a handful of days ago.
Was that Monday?
That was
Thursday.
Oh.
Thursday.
Same thing.
3 days, 4 days ago.
Yeah, 4 days ago.
Okay, here's my opinion on it. It's terrible, but it's rideable.
Yeah, it's better than not riding a snowmobile, but Rabbit Ears gets a ton of traffic. We haven't had
Buff
new
Pass
snow,
does too.
and Buff Pass both.
Yeah.
We haven't had new snow in 3 weeks. We got 20 inches the other day, which everybody would be like, oh my God. But it settled because the sun was out the next day just pounding it. Yeah. So it settled to almost nothing.
I was in a long sleeve t-shirt up there. And
2
was
days after
fine
the storm, yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
I did, I put a hoodie on for 10 seconds just so I didn't have to carry it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's been absolutely gorgeous up there. Bring the grill, have a good time, enjoy the process of snowmobiling.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for Colorado champagne powder, you're gonna
February champagne powder.
Yeah, you're gonna get some Colorado concrete.
Yeah,
you'd be disappointed.
Yep. So it's still good in some trees. You can find some good pockets. There's little hidden gems everywhere out there. Go find a hidden gem, have a good time in it, but enjoy it and know there's not going to be a ton of good stuff.
Right now, sun's out, snow's out.
Yep. pray for a huge reset storm.
Sun's out, snow's not here.
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, what is... Should your track lug be smaller or bigger than your...
Well, depends how many layers you have to wear when you go ride on the mountain.
Yeah.
What's the temperature?
I think it should be bigger. I'm kidding.
Get a big old long track lug out there.
Yeah.
I got one here. Why doesn't BC strap his helmet?
Oh, huh. Great question.
is
I
a
ask
do.
myself that a couple times a week. Or I asked BC that himself a couple times
a week. I've asked him that a few times.
Dude, okay, here's my thing with strapping your helmet. Should you? Yes. Okay,
you should.
I get it. Okay, but here's my argument. I have two things. Okay, one, I got into an accident where I couldn't get my helmet off because the 509 helmets have fidlock. If you don't know what that is, look it up. There's a little tab that you have to pull. If you do not pull that tab, you cannot get it off. And with gloves, I could not get to it. So I was getting suffocated with snow and couldn't get it off. That's why I started not unbuckling or started wearing my helmet unbuckled.
Do you remember the jump where your helmet went up because it wasn't
You want to know what's
buckled?
funny? It was buckled.
Oh, it was
Swear.
buckled there?
It was completely buckled.
Was it tight?
No.
Okay.
But it was buckled. But yeah, no, when I hit stuff now, like if I'm gonna go up and like hit a jump, it's buckled.
You should really buckle that thing all the time.
Yeah, I know. I kind of started to, but
Especially just like it's the freak accidents that get you.
yeah. No, I
Not to lecture you like your dad, but you should really
yeah,
buckle
my
that
didn't
helmet.
lecture me on that.
Yeah.
He didn't wear a
can't.
helmet.
Yeah, he doesn't even wear one. But yeah, don't follow in your dad's footsteps.
He
actually.
wears a
Yeah, well, if
Where's
you're
the
going to do
freaking
that, at
beaver
least smoke
skin?
a cigar.
yeah,
geez.
beaver skin cousin Eddie hat.
Well, and also he never gets into the boost on
Yeah.
his sled, so
Yeah, and he's a good rider. He doesn't
He doesn't need the
wreck.
turbo.
Yeah.
he doesn't need any of that.
Okay, let me start at the top. How many years have you been mountain riding? How has the sport evolved? That's a long question. We've
is a long question.
been mountain riding, I would say, since 2016, 2017.
Yeah,
We got sleds in 2010, but we weren't really mountain riding.
I've mountain rode my whole life, but seriously since 2019.
Okay.
It's evolved every year. It's evolved, but I would say you see a huge, like, drastic change every chassis change in the like snowmobile world. Like, as soon as the chassis changes, something evolves in the industry of like doing different stuff on snowmobiles, or like something changes every time the chassis changes, in my opinion. So every 3 to 4 years we see a huge change.
Yeah. I think we're seeing less and less of a change now, just because they're getting so good. I mean, we have the LLC snowmobile, and that thing's what, a 2000 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's evolved a billion %. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it is ridiculous what these sleds will do now.
Even
Right out of
like-
the crate, non-turboed.
You compare to like a 2010 sled and it's like, pff, nah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard to say how much better they're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
We've been on a steep trajectory.
but also back, in 93 or whatever year that sled is, they probably thought that was about as good as it was going to
oh,
get.
yeah. And my
mean-
dad, he was like, there's no way this is going to change. This is awesome. Like, we have
Yeah,
reverse.
We have peaked.
yeah, they got reverse, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
You guys should, this isn't a question, but it's a statement. You guys should try out the Ruby Mountains. I've never even heard of that.
where are the Ruby Mountains?
I'll look into that. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I'm curious now.
Got one here. You guys might be able to figure out who this is.
Uh-oh.
Where's the snow? And how much do you love your sister? Well, I do love my sister. She's a pretty nice gal. Where is the snow?
Revelstoke.
But I don't know if it's there either.
Let's just count on chili in August.
Okay, deal.
Yeah,
Chili in August.
There's a good chance.
It's not here.
Yeah,
It's not in Colorado. It doesn't seem to be in Wyoming either.
Yeah, it is.
Or Utah.
I will say everyone bitches about it, but we can go up and ride and have a great time.
Yeah. Is it the best winter of our life? No. are we still enjoying and going out and riding? I'm going to hit 1,000 miles tomorrow on my new sled. So like, it's not that bad, but it's not like we're not in handlebar deep powder every day.
Which sucks because we normally are.
Yeah.
Will you be doing a restock on the hats, the white camo? Yes, they're in production, so we'll have a couple different options on hats coming out on blackbird.com or blackbird-usa.com. Links in the bio. I can't remember what it is. And then we're doing long sleeve t-shirts, which is an essential for me, short sleeve, and hoodies. A couple different colors of hoodies. We have the merch. I really like it. I'm excited to get the hats, and then we'll hopefully you guys will support us there. Yeah. I know you guys are mostly on pressure ponies, but how to make an NA more powerful?
Pressure ponies, huh?
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Boost
Might need to make a
wagons.
sticker out of that.
Pressure pony. Yeah.
Rat rods.
NAs are hard to pull a lot of power out of. Depends what brand you're talking. RDCap, Speedworks makes an incredible stage 2 kit for that sled. Pull and Go does really good. I would say if you're riding an 850 or 9R, the SLP twin pipe setup makes a bunch of power. Like I think it's like 18 horsepower or something you can gain out of that.
You said a bunch of power. I thought you were going to say 80, and then you said 18.
No, in the NA world, you're not going to be pushing
Yeah,
a bunch.
know.
But like if you can gain like 5 horsepower in the NA world, it's like, oh my goodness. But as far as Ski-Doo goes, there's not a ton of options out there. I know there's a couple different companies doing stuff. I can't even tell you a name of a company doing like big bore things or anything like that with the Ski-Doo, but the Ski-Doo NAs are pretty on lock. Like they just don't have a ton of aftermarket goodies for them.
Seems like the turbos too.
Yeah, Ski-Doo in general. Yeah. BRP Lynx, Ski-Doo, all of it. They
don't seem like they need a whole lot of help. I mean,
that's
motors are strong.
Yeah, but it'd be cool to do like a 300 horsepower Ski-Doo.
Yeah.
It'd be neat.
Not going to argue on that one.
Okay. Best Avalanche gear. So I'll tell you what I run, or me and Brad run. We run Highmark, Snow Pulse, I think is the company. Highmark vest. That's what we like. I really like it. I've been running my vest too. I was thinking about this. I think I've been running that vest for like 4 years.
Yeah,
And it doesn't even show any signs of wear. I broke the buckle because I stepped on it, which I just need to get a new buckle. It's just a normal snap buckle, but so Highmark, I really like. The only thing about Highmark is it is the traditional canister, where if you pull the handle, hopefully you don't have to pull it. But if you do, you'll have to take it to an authorized. Most power sport dealers have it now, where they can refill the canister with pressurized air.
Yeah.
So, but some of the new ones have the electric ones, like AJ. You can dive into. Well, hold on. Let me just say this. Then I use for the full thing. I use. If you guys can hear breathing in the background, it's a dog. It's not me. So for beacons, I use a Mamu Barryvox S. I think it's called. Love it. Never had to use it. Thank God. And then the probe, I use a Mamu Carbon. Can't remember what it's called. It's a carbon probe. It's all on Highmark's website. So we work with Highmark. Like their stuff. The zippers hold up. There's enough space in the vest. I like the armored vest over a backpack right now. In the spring, I'll run a backpack. But I like that, and it's been very durable, and it holds enough for me to not be super heavy.
Yeah, those are good bags.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of the electric vests or backpacks because if you pull it on the mountain, your day's not over. I mean, technically, if you pull a canister, you should head off the mountain and get away and not be riding.
You should.
You should. That's the right thing to do. So you get one pull with those. With the electric ones, you get 3 pulls, so you can just repack it and continue your day. I think that's probably my favorite part about it. You can also fly with our backpacks if you need be with the capacitor.
Yeah, that's
So that's an added bonus going that route.
Yeah.
I would say the most important thing with all Avalanche things is what you can afford. Anything is better than nothing. Obviously, there's a bunch of high-end stuff out there. You could get absolutely consumed in the Avalanche world. But what you can afford, and honestly, the newer and latest and greatest stuff is what I would go buy.
And I say cut your sled build budget and buy the Avalanche stuff if you don't have it.
Yes.
Radio included. We run Oxbow radios.
Yep.
Brad runs a BCA. That stuff is lifesavers. Dude, I think...
Go buy an Oxbow radio.
Yeah, I think the Oxbow radio, I'd rather have that than any of the Avalanche gear.
I think
I need to be able to communicate with people. Like the other day when I'm pinned under my sled.
Yeah.
I would rather be able to talk and just, and it's not an either or, it's all of it. But I'm just saying, I obviously rely on my radio way more than I do my pull bag or beacon.
Yeah.
Which are all important. Don't get me wrong.
If I can afford a snowmobile, I can afford the Avalanche gear to go out on the snowmobile. And you can find some smoking deals on older backpacks, beacons, all that stuff. Have all that stuff, but have something. If you can afford it before you start putting money into your engine and exhaust and all that stuff, newer beacon, newer probe and shovel, and a newer backpack.
Make sure it's charged.
And a radio. And make sure everything's charged. Batteries, everything, the whole 9 yards.
Yep.
More importantly than that, know how to use your equipment. Like, have it, know how to use it. I love all the BCA tracker stuff. Happy with all the BCA stuff. So.
Okay.
We're running the Climb backpacks, by the way.
Yeah.
And happy with them. They fit good.
You guys. Yeah.
Me and Marcus. Yep. We got the bigger ones. I think they're the Aspects. We can fit a lot of stuff in there. They get heavy then. Then we have the newer version. Doesn't hold as much stuff. Nicer because it's not heavy.
Yeah. But. How to get better at jumping?
Go find a small jump and hit it 1,000,000 times in a day.
Yeah.
The only way to get better at jumping is to get comfortable in the air and to get comfortable with like the going into it in the air, the landing, like just get comfortable with it. Find a small jump that you can hit a bunch of times and go just start repping it out, rep it out. And then just go find another one bigger and bigger and bigger. What?
I said fireball.
Oh,
no, I'm kidding. Don't
a little liquid
it.
courage.
No. Well, if you're really trying to figure out how to jump, I think the podcast that we did last year on jumping could really help. So those are on the Let's Assess playlist on the YouTube channel that you're probably watching this on right now. If you're not on Spotify or Apple, go check those out.
We dove into that completely on a podcast, and then last week we talked with Boondock Nation about jumping, and there was some valuable information from those guys in there on that as well.
Yeah, reps, and knowing how to use the brake and the gas, and it's, in my opinion, dude, most of it is after you figure out the brake and gas, which don't take long. It's comfort.
Yeah,
not saying that I'm like sending Turcotte jumps, but you know what I mean.
You got to be comfortable in the air.
Yep. And confident. We need to go fast.
Okay.
Best place to ride other than Revy?
My yard.
Yeah. We haven't been many places. We're avid snowmobilers, but I guess we're lazy avid snowmobilers. We just stay at 15 minutes from our door most of the time.
We're homebodies.
Yeah.
Honestly, don't really know. Can't give an honest opinion about that. Love riding places around here. I've heard Alpine, Wyoming is pretty incredible. So that's like one of my destinations.
We're trying to get up there this year.
Yeah.
If everything goes right.
Yep. So.
Heck yeah.
165 tracks popular again? ? I'm a big boy, so they were always the way for me. I talked about this in another podcast. I think that we saw this trend where it went longer and longer and longer for a couple years. Like we talked about in that other podcast, they were building 174s.
Yep.
And they were all the rage there for a while for big time mountain riding.
Yep.
And then in the last 3 years, it's gone shorter to 146. And for those of you who say 146 is a long track, yeah, we're talking mountain riding. We're not talking about trail riding.
And current year stuff.
Yeah, true. So then we went shorter and shorter and shorter. And I think a lot of that was because Kosterky and Brandt were doing these hopovers and reentries. So people felt like they needed those. What they didn't realize is 99.999% of you listening to this are not on their level. So yes, it helps, but the drawbacks are huge when it comes to normal people only being able to get one snowmobile. When it's deep, they have a heck of a time doing it. So then I think a lot of people went to 146 there when it was popular, and then they said, this sucks. I can't ride this. I'm stuck all day because I'm not that skilled of a rider. Then we started going longer and longer, not necessarily to a 174, but I think the hot spot for mountain riding with the chassis we have is a 55 or 65.
Yep.
For 99% of people. If you're a bigger dude, I think 165 is a great idea.
Yeah.
I enjoy mine. And then obviously, then you get into the nitty gritty of like me, where I can take a 165 with a 325 and it is just as rowdy as a 155 stalker. So it just kind of depends on what you want to get yourself into. That's my opinion.
Agreed.
Clutching setups, ? Do you want to touch on that and then I'll touch on mine?
Yeah, clutching setups, super dependent upon what your sled is.
And what setup you have.
And what setup you have already, stuff like that. I mean, a lot of these manufacturers come really good out of the box with a clutching setup. If you're looking for that extra gain, we run Speedworks stuff. So usually a higher primary spring rate, more adjustability in your weights. So when you change elevation, you have that option to change with that. Those are the biggest things I'd have to say. In those clutch kits, just have a different helix, have different springs, have different weights, and have adjustability.
I think it's a huge deal for a lot of setups.
It's a huge deal. Yeah, I mean, that's where for an affordable price, you can make a lot of power on any snowmobile.
And a lot of response.
And yeah, good throttle response. Like, it's just the best you can do money-wise on a snowmobile, in my opinion. But yeah, we're very happy with the Speedworks kits. We've ran the Voke clutching as well.
On the Polaris side. Yeah,
on the Polaris side. Like, it's just get a clutch setup, have someone that's going to give you good support, and that's all I can really say is, be able to have someone to bounce some questions off of. Because if you're diving into that world, you're getting into the tuning world, and you're going to have some questions, I feel like. So.
Yep. You're running stock too.
Yeah, I just saw stock clutch on.
Or stock clutching, yeah.
Yeah.
For the time being, at least.
For me, I'm running. I've always ran Voke clutch stuff. With the setups that I run with intercooled avgas, you have to have way more weight. The guys at Voke, they have it completely dialed. They've tested it all. Depending on what package you get, whether you get their pump gas tune or their pump gas tune, avgas tune, or avgas intercooled tune, there's going to be different clutching, and they have that dialed in at elevation. It has been tested. It has been proven, and I can vouch for it. I've never had an issue with it. Pulls great, pulls RPM, builds power well, and so yeah, we're a little different, or I'm a little different because I'm running aftermarket tunes and stuff like that. But do some research. Facebook forums is or Facebook groups, I guess, are a great place to bounce what your build is, and hear other people out that have tried different clutching. So
yeah, and all these companies that we work with are great with NA sleds and stuff like that as well. They're not just dialed in on the turbos. So
yeah, very
good in the NA world as well.
Sweet. So that is a lot of information.
Yeah.
And a good podcast. So if you guys liked it, if you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, submit your videos to Cook Bros or Powderbound. Ride Day, February 22nd. Clinic,
March 6th and 7th.
March 6th and 7th. And until next week. Oh, this Thursday, watch the YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think.
Video's going to be good.
You're not going to want to miss that one.
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss it. And until next time, let her bark. Thanks for listening. And let's ride.
See ya.